Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verses 12 through 22. He starts off by saying, be careful you don't fall. Don't think you're standing firm. And so often we are so confident of our moral ability, right? That we can manage sin. But the truth is we don't, and we all fail. And he says, don't look to yourself. He goes on to say, no temptation has overtaken you that isn't common to everybody. None of us have really a unique temptation. We're all basically, on our egos, on our ambition, our appetites, or our need for approval, right? And it's not God that causes us to sin, right? Rather, it is that it's not like we didn't have a choice. We make the choice because we're sinners. We choose sin over God because we're bound to sin. And as he says in this verse, no temptation has been given to you that you can't bear. It doesn't say that you can handle, and there's a big difference. We can't handle lots of stuff. If the fact that we are so lost in our sin shows us that we fall down over and over again. What he says is bear, and human beings are able to endure, they're able to bear a great deal of toxicity. It is amazing how human beings will continue to bear or endure horrible circumstances of sin and brokenness in their lives rather than calling out to God for redemption. And that what God gives us more than we can handle is that God gives us the heavy demand of the law. And as long as we insist on doing it on our own terms, that burden will be upon us. But he says that God will give us a way out. And what is that escape? That escape is in Jesus Christ through his blood and on the cross. And so he goes on to say that therefore flee from idolatry. He says, you folks are smart. You're sensible people. You can make an evaluation. And you can either choose to be a part of the demon wine party and partake in the brokenness of this world, thinking it's going to make you happy, or you can drink from the cup of thanksgiving and participate in the loaf of the Eucharist. And Paul then makes this sacramental connection that when we drink from the cup and partake in the loaf, the wine and the bread, that this is participating, this is not a symbol. We are partaking in the blood and the body of Jesus Christ, that we are entering into the work of the cross when we participate in communion. It is a sacrament, not a symbol. And then Paul goes on to say that, when we participate in the weirdness of this world and the sacrifices of this world, we're giving ourselves not just to that one thing that we think is not going to be any big deal. We are participating in the demonic powers of this world. And so he says, you cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You can't have your foot in both worlds. You're either going to be a part of the Lord's table or you're going to participate in the demonic tea party. And he says, so we're trying to get you to come to the right party. And so I invite you to come and be a part of the party that we have when we gather around the table to share in the cup and the loaf. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.